Hi, it's Mark from Top Local Lead Generation. We're here with Bernie Pawlik of Pawlik Automotive in Vancouver. They're 15-time winners of Best Auto Repair in Vancouver as voted by their customers. How are you doing today, Bernie?
Really well.
So we're going to talk about a Mercedes-Benz, an ML320. Had some exhaust fumes. What was going on there?
What was going on? Well, so our client brought, it's an ML320. It's a diesel engine vehicle, 3-liter diesel. They were getting diesel exhaust fumes in the cabin of the vehicle. We did some diagnosis, and first step, of course, was road testing the vehicle to verify the concern, and we could smell it right away in the car. It's pretty noxious. You could understand why they're concerned about it. So we proceeded to do the diagnosis on the exhaust system, and what we found was interesting. It wasn't actually an exhaust problem at all. The problem was actually a crankcase breather valve at the back right rear of the engine, right near where the cabin air would be sucked into the engine. And it was leaking crankcase blow-by gases, which are, when an engine runs, there's a certain amount of combustion gas that escape past the piston rings. These are called blow-by gases, and every engine, any internal combustion engine, has to deal with that, whether it's gas or diesel. And they have a ventilation system where it sucks the gas back into the engine and reburns it. The crankcase vent valve was leaking, so it was leaking exhaust fumes, even worse than car exhaust fumes, more noxious, right by the cabin air filter area. So that's the first thing we found. I'll just go to a couple of pictures here.
Are these common problems on this engine?
Well, this is the first one we've seen, but there are a number of issues with the crankcase vent systems on these vehicles. I'll show you the other issue that we found that was interesting. So here's the engine cover that you would see when you open the hood of the vehicle. Not much to see. The crankcase vent valve is hidden actually well, if you're looking down on the hood at the back left corner of the engine. And this is what things look like with the cover off. There's an awful lot of bits and pieces. There's a lot of complexity with this engine, as I've talked about before. That yellow arrow points to the crankcase vent valve. Unfortunately, you can't see it very well because it's kind of in the darker corner of the engine compartment, but that's where the vent valve was. Now, to get to it and check things out, we had to remove a number of other items. Where the green arrow points, that points to a fuel injector. That points to the air filter box, and underneath that is a nice foam cover to keep a noise reduction cover. We found something really interesting under that cover as well. You're asking about common problems. We found this. These are the fuel. This is the center fuel injector, and all that black guck in that area is not normal. That is combustion gas and a bit of diesel fuel that's leaked from a blown injector seal at the bottom of the injector. So this was another thing that we found that was contributing to the smell in the customer's vehicle. Is this common? This is the first time we've actually seen this particular concern on this vehicle, but from what we read, it does happen from time to time. This engine is a commonly used engine. It's in Sprinter vans, it's in Jeeps. Let's say this is the first time we found it, but it is definitely something that happens from time to time.
Wow, that doesn't look good.
No, it isn't, and it's unfortunately an expensive repair, which gets me to the other interesting question about where to buy parts for these engines. So we shop around. We have a variety, because we're an independent shop. We shop a variety of sources, and actually the cheapest place to buy this fuel injector, and it's brand new, is directly from the Mercedes-Benz dealer. Substantially cheaper than any other source we can find, and everyone else sells remanufactured injectors, which are good, but not as good. So it's one advantage that people don't think about with dealing with an independent auto repair shop, a good one that's conscientious. We'll shop around for the best price on parts and based on what the best quality and price is, which is an option you don't get. If you go to the dealer, you're only going to get what they sell, the dealer's brand, and often, sometimes they are cheaper, but if they're not, then you're stuck with that anyways.
What else did you find?
Well, what else we found was interesting. This is a picture of the turbo air inlet duct, and I'll just go back to our other original picture. That's the red arrow points to where this photo is taken with the duct off. Now, there's a lot of oily guck there. This is another common problem on this 3-liter Mercedes engine. There are some big rubber seals. That red seal that you see on the left, that's the small seal from the vent valve. which was replaced when we replaced the crankcase vent. But there's also a very large rubber seal where the duct, and I'll go back to this picture, that sort of Y-shaped piece, straight piece that goes across the engine. There's a big rubber seal in there as well that leaks. What happens when these leak, and I believe we've done a post on this before, the oil leaks down. There's an expensive valve underneath called a swirl valve, and if enough oil leaks down, it eventually gets into the valve and wrecks the valve. So this is something you want to fix on one of these 3-liter Mercedes engines. You want to keep an eye on them, make sure that you fix these seals. Another thing that's good about the Mercedes engine is you can buy these rubber seals for a very reasonable price from the Mercedes dealer, whereas with a Jeep, they use a different type of air intake duct, and you have to buy the complete duct pipe, which is substantially more cost. But fixing it is infinitely cheaper than waiting till it leaks and wrecks your swirl valves. So just one last picture to look at. This is the fuel rail with the new injector in. You can see that black guck that was once there has all been cleaned and removed, and everything is all good. That is our picture show.
So how did the vehicle run after you repaired everything?
Oh, it was great. Nice, ran really well. No more fumes. We also changed the cabin air filters because these filters are right nearby the area where the fumes were being sucked in, and they do need to be changed on a routine basis. But we figured this is a good time to change it with any extra particles that got in there, and they were quite dirty. But yeah, the engine ran great. You know, with that fuel injector leaking as well, there was undoubtedly some engine performance being lost, but these engines have very sensitive management systems. So if anything was severe, the check engine light would have come on, and nothing did. But you know, definitely the vehicle ran great, no more fumes, and makes for a happy customer.
So if you're looking to be a happy customer with your vehicle, and you could have problems even before the check engine light comes on because they are not foolproof. The computers are just computers. Give Bernie a call. You can reach him at 604-327-7112 or check out their amazing website, pawlikautomotive.com. Give him a call. Thanks, Bernie.
Thanks, Mark. We'll talk to you again soon.